You know what the hardest part of building something real is? It's not the work. It's not the pain. It's not the sleepless nights or the discipline or the frustration. It's the silence. It's waking up every day and putting in effort nobody claps for. It's grinding while everyone else thinks you're wasting your time. It's carrying a vision that only you can see, while the world keeps asking you to explain it. And you can't. Not because you don't want to, but because they wouldn't understand even if you tried. You're building something nobody sees yet. People look at your life right now and see nothing special. A normal person, a quiet routine, a lonely grind, a dream that has no shape yet, but you know what's coming. You can feel it, that pressure in your chest, that restlessness in your bones, that whisper in your head that says, just keep going, you're close, listen to me. This phase, this invisible phase, is where most people quit, not because they're weak, but because silence feels like failure. Because when nobody notices your progress, you start believing there is none. But hear this clearly. Lack of applause is not lack of progress. Lack of witnesses is not lack of growth. Lack of recognition is not lack of value. You're in the part of the journey where everything you do feels invisible. But this is where the foundation is being built. This is the part nobody talks about. The part nobody glamorizes. The part nobody posts on Instagram. The part where you wake up tired. Where you doubt yourself. Where you work and work and work, and nothing seems to change, but it is changing. You just don't see it yet. Reality changes slowly. Identity changes quietly. Momentum builds silently. The world doesn't see seeds sprouting under the soil, but that doesn't mean they aren't growing. It just means it's not time to bloom yet. You're in that buried phase right now. Dark, quiet, heavy, but absolutely essential. Because when you're buried, you have two choices. Decay or root. And you're rooting. You're getting stronger in ways that can't be measured yet. You're becoming someone the future version of you will be grateful for. The world may not see what you're building, but they will. One day, they will walk into the results you built in the dark and say, where did this come from? And you'll know. It came from the nights nobody saw. From the mornings, nobody applauded. From the work nobody understood. From the faith nobody believed in but you. This is your invisible season. Don't run from it. Respect it. Because this is the season that makes people dangerous. Keep going. Listen, there's a reason nobody claps for you right now. There's a reason nobody texts you. Keep going. There's a reason nobody's calling you great or unstoppable or special. Because they can't see it. They don't see the hours. They don't see the nights. They don't see the work you do when you're half awake and running to fumes. They only see what exists, not what's being built, not what's forming in the dark, not what's slowly taking shape inside the version of you you're becoming. And that right there, that silence, that invisibility, that isolation, that's your advantage. People stop too early because they crave applause too early. They want validation before transformation. They want witnesses before results. They want recognition before discipline. But you're different. You're in that rare category of people who can work while nobody cares, who can grind while nobody notices, who can sacrifice without posting about it, who can evolve without announcing it. That's why this phase feels heavy. That's why it feels lonely. That's why it feels like you're screaming into a void, because you're laying the foundation, and foundations are always built underground. Nobody sees the trenches. Nobody sees the digging. Nobody sees the mud on your hands. Nobody sees the nights you stare at the ceiling, wondering if it's worth it. But guess what? Every skyscraper was once a hole in the ground. Every empire was once a blueprint. Every champion was once a nobody with discipline and a reason. And that's what you have right now. A reason. A reason strong enough to pull you forward when nobody's pulling with you. Let me tell you something nobody said to you when you needed to hear it. You are not behind. You're early. You're not losing. You're planting. You're not invisible. You're incubating. And that discomfort you feel, that restlessness, that ache in your chest that says, more, keep going. That is the signal of someone who's building something bigger than their environment can understand. This phase isn't punishment. This phase isn't failure. This phase isn't a setback. This phase is the universe asking you one question. Do you want it badly enough to keep going even when nobody sees the progress but you? Because here's the truth, most people quit halfway because the world didn't clap fast enough. Most people give up because nobody noticed soon enough. Most people surrender their dream because it didn't get approval from people who never built anything in their lives. But you don't need applause. You don't need permission. You don't need an audience. You need one thing, the ability to keep going when the world is silent. This phase is where you earn the life you want. This phase is where you become dangerous. This phase is where you forge the discipline, the identity, the resilience that the future version of you will rely on. You're building something nobody sees yet, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Keep going. When nobody believes, when nobody understands, when nobody cares, because one day the world will look at what you've built and swear it happened overnight. Listen. There's a moment in every builder's life where the world stops clapping, where the messages stop coming, where the people who once said, "You got this," quietly disappear. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something they can't see. People only clap for results. They don't clap for foundations. They don't clap for late nights. They don't clap for invisible progress. They clap when the lights are on. They clap when the work is finished. They clap when success is undeniable. But right now you're in the stage nobody respects, the building stage, the lonely stage, the stage where people think you're wasting your time. You post something, no reaction. You talk about your goal, blank stares. You try new things, they laugh. Or worse, they ignore you completely. Because the world understands outcomes, not effort. But here's the part they'll never tell you. Every person who made history went through this same phase. Every single one. The phase where nobody gets it, where nobody sees what you see, where nobody believes in the blueprint you're carrying inside you. You know why? Because the vision is yours, not theirs. They don't see the moving parts. They don't feel the fire you feel. They don't hear the voice in your head telling you, keep going. You're onto something. So stop expecting them to understand. People doubt what they can't imagine. They fear what they don't recognize. They mock what they can't do themselves. You're not behind. You're just early. Read that again, you're early. Early in your growth, early in your discipline, early in your transformation. But the world is late to notice who you're becoming. Late to acknowledge your effort. Late to respect your grind. This is where most people quit. Not because they were weak, but because they needed an audience to feel real. They needed validation to feel alive. They needed applause to feel like they mattered. But you're different. Whether you feel it or not, you're built for the silent climb. You're built for the nights where the only person cheering for you is the future version of yourself, the one waiting at the top. Let me tell you something you won't hear anywhere else. If people don't believe in you right now, good. That's how legends begin. Alone. Misunderstood. Unapproved.